What is up, my Flame Gang? It is Flame Ace back here with another video. Today we will be doing what if Naruto had an ancient dark dojutsu and had an unknown tailed beast. We start our story off at the academy. Naruto would be enrolled at the academy when he was 10 years old. Naruto would be a very calm, cool, and collected person. He would be a natural prodigy. Naruto would mostly only use 10% of his power at the academy. Naruto would love history in school. Kushina and Minato would pick Naruto and Sasuke up from school. The reason why I'm saying this is because before I said in the first episode, I told you that Minato and Kushina Minato's a Uchiha and is Fugaku's brother. Kushina still was a Maki though. So what would happen Naruto and Sasuke would be cousins. Naruto and Sasuke would actually share a bond thicker than tar. It'd actually be thicker than the bond between Sasuke and Itachi. Naruto and Sasuke would do everything together, practically everything. They'd practice, they'd train, they'd eat, they'd leave, they'd run. They even ate together. So So Kushina and Minato picked up Naruto and Sasuke from school. Naruto and Sasuke were both happy because this was Naruto and Sasuke's birthday. On their birthday, they actually share a birthday because their birthday is actually originally on the 16th. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So, what I was saying is that Naruto and Sasuke both shared a birthday. So they actually enrolled on school on that said birthday. Naruto would be born on the 15th of December, and Sasuke would be born on the 16th. So they'd share the 15th of December as their birthday. And I know school doesn't start in December, but I don't care. This is Naruto, man. Naruto. So in this what if, they would start school, and on this said day, they'd actually be throwing a birthday for the two. Basically, I'm going to say that there were two Uchiha houses for the Uchihas. For the Minato side of the family, they actually had a separate house that was like a 3-minute walk away from the original Uchiha compound, and it looked pretty much the same. Maybe a few differences, like rooms might be placed differently, but it was practically the same thing. They basically take turns sharing birthdays each year. Since this was the 10th birthday, this was Sasuke's house this year. Kushina and Minato arrived at the secondary Uchiha compound house for the main Uchiha compound house, I should say, and they were happy. What happened was Naruto and Sasuke were just running around the room full of energy. Sasuke was yelling to everyone, "It's my birthday." Sasuke was happy it was his birthday. He was silently smiling. Naruto was doing the same thing. He actually went up to Mikoto and said, "Aunt Mikoto, guess what day it is?" Mikoto said, "I don't know. What is it?" Naruto said, It's mine and Sasuke's birthday." Naruto would be very happy. What happens next is Itachi actually comes through the door and actually congratulates them and comes for Sasuke's birthday. And he says, "Hey, little brother." And I'm going to say that Naruto and Sasuke had a stronger relationship than Naruto and Itachi. Just by, not too much, but I'm going to say they still had a stronger relationship, I guess you could say. Naruto and Sasuke they'd be more than close. They'd be best buddies. But yeah, after this, they would cut some cake, eat some food, and yeah. We cut to tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sasuke, this is actually a Saturday, so Sasuke and Naruto decided every weekday or day that's not a school day, they train even more than if it's a school day. So what they did was they decided to take a run around all of Konoha. Naruto was winning the most. He was actually running faster than Sasuke. Although by a little bit, Naruto was more strategic than Sasuke. But more strategic and was a little faster and more agile than Sasuke. But Sasuke wasn't that far behind Naruto. What happened was, when they were in downtown Konoha still racing, Naruto actually decided to take a shortcut to an alley. As Naruto was going through that alleyway, what happens is we would Naruto would actually see Tenten, one of his classmates, being kicked and punched in the face and the stomach by what looked to be a leaf ninja. One of the adults said, "Leave two-tailed fox," or "Leave two-tailed freak." Another said, "Actually, go die." Tenten barely managed to say, "Please, stop." These adults were mid-jonin level. The other adult said, "You're the two-tailed cat freak. This is why no one loved you. This is why no one adopted you, you freak." And then they drop kick Tenten in the stomach. Naruto seeing this, his eyes turn a black color, a very strong black color, very black. So what happens is Naruto, he would unlock this dojutsu that you see on screen right now. This is what Naruto looks like normally. So he would unlock this dojutsu that you see on screen. Naruto would be furious, and Sasuke would actually unlock the one Tomoe from seeing this. So they actually go and they fight the two mid-level Jonin, and they actually blitz the Jonin. Sasuke unlocks the 3 Tomoe. Because I'm going to say that Sasuke and Naruto are actually stronger than they were in canon. Because Naruto is way stronger due to his heritage, if you saw the first video. So yeah. What would happen is, Naruto's eyes would go black. He would basically pass out, and he'd just be full of fury. Naruto actually gets transported to his mindscape. This is where Naruto sees a giant 100-tailed fox. Naruto would be instantly scared, and he said, "Where am I?" The fox would say, "You are in your mindscape, child." Naruto would say, "What?" Breathing heavily, being scared. Rosary, the 100-tailed fox said, "My name is Rosary. I am your guardian." Naruto would be like, "My guardian, what? Are you a tailed beast? I've never heard of you." Rosary would say, "These tailed beast things you talk of, I am one of those, I guess, but on somewhat of a universal scale." Naruto would be like, "What? What do you mean?" Naruto would try to run, but he would actually move nowhere. He'd look like he was running, but Rosary wasn't moving any further than him. Rasori said, "You can trust me." Naruto actually finally warmed up and started trusting Rasori. What happened was, Rasori actually bonded with Rasori because Rasori told Naruto that he is a good person and that he won't hurt him. So yeah, Naruto asked him questions, and Rasori was a pretty good guy. Naruto still didn't know that much about Rasori or where he came from, but he knew he could trust Rasori. What happened is, Rasori would say, "Child, do you accept my chakra?" Naruto would say, "Yes." Naruto would have a sudden burst of chakra run through his body, still in his mindscape, but in the real world, Naruto got even stronger, still with his black Sharingan-looking eyes. I dubbed these eyes the Yami gun, the Yaminaka gun. Yami actually in Japanese stands for dark, so it stands for dark gun. But enough with the history lesson. Naruto in the real world would be getting even stronger after he beat the two Jonin, highly crippling them and blitzing them at fast speeds with Sasuke. They actually go to Tenten and say, and actually help her. Naruto, well, what happens next is, Naruto and Sasuke would blitz the Jonin, like I said. Naruto would say, "Are you okay?" Tenten would say, "Yes." Sasuke would have said, "Don't lie." Naruto would actually say after that, "Sasuke-kun, we are taking her back to stitch her up." If it was not obvious, Tenten would be the Two Tails Jinchuriki. They would take Tenten to Minato's house, to the Minato house of the Uchiha side. They told the story to Kushina and Minato. Kushina actually decided Kushina knows some healing jutsu, so she decided to stitch her up with some healing jutsu. Kushina was furious, so yeah, she was furious and told Minato. Minato took away the Jonin's right to be ninja. Once Tenten woke up, she would say, "My head hurts. Where am I?" Naruto would say, "You're at the Uchiha compound." Tenten would say, "What?" Realizing who Naruto is, she would realizing who Naruto is, she says, "Wait, you're Naruto Uchiha, the Lord Four's son. I'm your classmate. I am Tenten." Naruto says, "Nice to meet you," shaking Tenten's hand. Tenten asks, "How did I get here?" Naruto says, "Some people were beating you up." What happens after that is, Tenten actually told Naruto why they were beating her up and that she was the Two Tails Jinchuriki. It was actually getting pretty late out, so Naruto said, "Where are your parents?" Tenten would say, "I actually don't have parents because they didn't want me. My parents actually, as soon as the Two Tails was sealed inside of me, they abandoned me to the orphanage, and no one ever adopted me." Naruto would actually be very sad and heartbroken at this story, hugging Tenten. Tenten would say, "Naruto-kun." Well, she would say, "Naruto-kun, it's okay." Naruto would actually start to cry a couple of tears. Kushina would be red hot in the corner, wanting to punch something. She was like red hot and sad at the same time. they were just sad at the outcome of what happened and why they were just beating up Tenten for no reason. So Minato actually says, excuse me, child. Tenten instantly perks up and bows and says, yes, Lord Fourth. Minato actually says, you don't have to go with formalities. Just call me Minato. Mr. Minato, Mr. Uchiha, whatever you want to call me. Just not Lord Fourth if you don't want to. Then Tenten would say, yes, Minato. What would happen after that is that Minato would say, since you have no parents, would you want to perhaps stay here at the Uchiha compound for the night? Tenten would say, are you sure, sir? And Minato would say, I am the Hokage, so I have to be sure with every decision I make. Minato would instantly crack up with just hearing crickets in the background. Minato would say, never mind. Tenten would be very happy about this. So they actually prepared a bed for Tenten, and Tenten actually stayed at the Uchiha compound for the night. What I'm going to say is that Naruto knows that Kushina is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. So what happened was, basically, in the mindscape, Naruto accidentally contacted all of the three of the tailed beast. So it happened in a giant conversation between the three. Rosary said, Naruto, you have brung us here. Kushina would actually be very scared about what this was and what this beast over Naruto was. What would happen was, Rosary would actually say he's been sealed into Naruto since his birth, but does not know his birth origins. I'm gonna say Rosary lied about Naruto's birth origins, or just didn't talk about them, lied about knowing them, because he just didn't want to tell them about the Otsutsuskis and the Astrals, in case they started ratting this out and other places found out. He doesn't want another war to happen. So yeah. So he says, this has happened, so yeah. Matabi, the Two Tails, I wasn't able to get a picture of the Two Tails, but for your information, the Two Tails is actually like a cat. It's like a cat tiger. It's like a cat or a tiger made of blue flames. So yes, I'll give you all a second to go search it up if you want. Just pause the video. Okay, I bet you're probably back. So, yeah. So, yeah, after this, yeah, the three of them would meet up. Kushina and, Tenten would be very, scared, but Naruto would be less scared, but still a little on the edge. Matabi would actually, run away, and Kurama would actually back up. Rosary would actually explain that he is Rosary, the 100-tailed wolf, and that he was sealed into this boy since this child's birth, but does not know anything about the child. Well, he knew everything since the child appeared in Konoha. That's another lie, because he knows the child's origins and how he's part astral, part Otsutsuki, but he actually doesn't just want to say it. So Kurama would actually challenge Rosary to a fight, thinking that if he won, that he could actually break out of the mindscape and just break out into the real world. What happened was Rosary would actually would actually start fighting Kurama. Matabi, realizing that Kurama was acting bad, actually teamed up with Rasori, knowing that he might be a good person. So they both kind of worked together to take down Kurama. They actually beat Kurama into submission. So Kurama actually started acting nice and became the yin side of Kurama from the yin that Minato had. But instead of it just being half a Kurama, this is the full Kurama acting like yin Kurama. So even after all of this, there would still be a lot of chaos and such happening with the fighting and stuff, and Kurama and Rasori still wouldn't get along. After this night, Naruto talks to them about the dream, and they say they have the exact same dream, and it felt real. So they come to the conclusion that this dream was real, and that Naruto has a tailed beast. Kushina actually tells Minato, and Kurama and Rasori contact Minato, telling him that it is true. Minato says that he can't reveal this right away, but he will eventually reveal this to the public. So what would happen after, because some people might use Naruto as a weapon. So after this night, Naruto goes to the academy with Tenten, and he actually arrives at the academy and sees Tenten in her desk and sees Sakura bullying her. Sakura would say, "You never get Naruto's attention, you slut." Naruto says, "Trash can, get out of this building." Yoink. I'm just kidding. But Naruto would say, "Hey, leave her alone." And then Sakura would walk off saying, Okay, Naruto-kun." And then after all of that happened, Naruto would go up and sit next to Tenten saying, "Hey, Tenten-san." Tenten would be like, "Oh, hello, Naruto-kun." She actually have a very small, tiny blush on her face, because Tenten actually developed feelings for Naruto. But she wouldn't say this until later. Naruto, they actually studied through the day, and Tenten said that she actually has a weapon jutsu. Naruto would actually, over the week, actually get pretty sufficient, and also, I think that all of Minato, Kushina, and Tenten would all have time to learn and know about Rasori and know that he's a good guy. So Naruto told her that he'd actually teach her how to use the tailed beast chakra combined with their own chakra. Tenten said that she used weapon jutsu, so that might not be able to work. Naruto actually profused an idea that she infused the Kyuubi's chakra into her weapons to create blue flaming weapons. Matabi actually said that that'd be a good idea, so they should try it. Naruto actually trains her because Naruto knows how to control tailed beast chakra, because it's more of a link than a seal. He'd actually weaken the seal he'd weaken the seal because Matabi and would be a good person and actually be nice to humans. So what would happen would be Matabi and Tenten would actually know each other for a lot of their life and bond before they even met Naruto. So yeah, I'm gonna say that they actually knew each other before the story started. And yeah. So Naruto actually taught them how to use the jutsu. Now we skip to where the teams are started being made. They actually call out the teams. We're calling out team 1. Someone. And they keep going on like this until they get to team 7. Team 7. Sasuke, Tenten, Naruto, Sasuke Uchiha, Tenten, because I don't know her last name. I forgot it already. And Naruto Uchiha. This is what Naruto would look like in the series. I forgot to say that. Yeah, Tenten and Naruto Uchiha. Everyone, you will be part of Team 7. Kakashi will be your instructor. What would happen would be Kakashi actually made it to the place on time, and Kakashi would actually have close ties to Minato because he's still alive, and he would have actually 2 of Obito's Sharingan. I know people say, that's impossible, but Obito in this what if, I'm going to say, Obito in this what if, basically only from his neck down got crushed. His eyes were still intact. So Kakashi actually, Obito said, take my eyes and let me see the future for you. So Obito took Kakashi took both of Obito's eyes instead of just one. And Obito, before that was finished, he basically put a little bit of his chakra into Kakashi, so Kakashi can actually deactivate and activate the Sharingan. So what happened would be, Kakashi Sensei would say, hey kids, I'm Kakashi Sensei. So I would say Kakashi Sensei would be at least 20 minutes late, and Naruto would be like, why are you late? Weren't you supposed to be here earlier? Sasuke would say, yeah, why are you late? Kakashi said, oh, a black cat crossed my path, so I had to go the long way around. Naruto would say, that's bogus, and I know it. So Naruto saying all of this he'd kind of be angry at Kakashi for saying that and all that stuff. So yeah, Naruto would actually be angry at Kakashi. So Kakashi said, okay, we're going to the roof now, so tell me all your dreams. So what happens is, dreams and goals. Naruto, Sasuke, and Tenten all walk up to the roof. Because in this what if, I'm gonna say only a few people in the Uchiha massacre were actually massacred. I'm gonna say that Shisui survived, but then was massacred in the Uchiha massacre. I want to say Fugaku was massacred, and a few other unnamed Uchiha, but not a lot of the main cast. This would actually be very sad for Sasuke, but yeah, Sasuke would actually still have a will to live and a will to do stuff because he had Naruto there for him and his mother. So yeah, what happened was, now we get to goals. First up is you, Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke would say, I'm Sasuke Uchiha. I belong to the Uchiha clan. My goals are not goals, but they are a reality. I will kill a certain man, but after I kill him, I will take the name of Hokage. Tenten something some, because I don't know her name. Tenten. I want people to know that just because I have a tailed beast, that doesn't mean that I can't be a strong person. And it doesn't mean that I'm a freak. And other people who have tailed beasts inside of them can actually be good too. I want them to know that tailed beasts are not actually bad things. And I also like someone, and I want to be able to end up with them in the future and become a very strong and powerful Konoichi. Next, you, Naruto Uchiha. Naruto Uchiha. Next up is you, Naruto Uchiha. What I want to do is I want to kill Itachi Uchiha. He massacred some very important family members, so I want him dead. I will then go for Hokage. and there is a person that I like, and I want to marry them, and I want to marry them after I become Hokage, and I want to become a very strong shinobi. Actually, no. Naruto would say, I want to become a legendary Sannin. I want to become a fox Sannin. I want to become strong. I will kill a man by the name Itachi Uchiha. Because I'm going to say Itachi actually didn't kill Minato, but was very close. And he actually, he actually cut off Minato's right hand. Just the actual hand, not the arm. So yeah, Naruto said, and it was very vital to Minato, so he can't really do jutsu, but he can still walk around and walk and run fine. But he has to wait a while before he can do jutsu. Naruto says, I have a ton of goals. My first dream is to become a Sannin. My second dream is to kill a man by the name Itachi Uchiha. My third dream is to become a powerful shinobi. And my last is to marry the girl that I like. Okay, that concludes. Everyone come for the bell test tomorrow, and don't eat or you will puke. So tomorrow, Naruto actually appears at the bell test. Kakashi comes, and he actually says the same excuse. A black cat crossed my path. Naruto would say, you said that excuse 2 times, therefore you're freaking lying. Kakashi would say, how do you know I didn't see a black cat twice, huh? Naruto would be like, the chance of that are 1 in a million. But there's still chances. You know what? Let's just get to the fighting. Okay, so I only have 2 bells. Whatever 2 people get the bells will pass the exam. 1 will have to go back to the academy. What happens is Naruto would fall back with Sasuke and Tenten. Tenten would say she's willing to go to the academy. She's willing to go back to the academy since she is of the least use. Naruto would actually be sure with Tenten and say, are you sure about this? So Naruto and Sasuke and Tenten would actually have trained as a team before. So they would have some experience. So Naruto and Sasuke actually blitzed Kakashi. They didn't blitz Kakashi, but they got a few attacks on him because Naruto actually came up from the back and Sasuke from the front. So they kind of sandwiched him. Kakashi was still blocking the attacks well. But yeah, Naruto actually decided what would happen is Naruto would actually say switch, and basically Sasuke would actually switch with Naruto, running out to the second side. Now, since Naruto would actually Minato's son, Minato actually decided he wanted to put his future in this kid. So Minato would actually teach Naruto the Rasengan. But something is that Naruto would actually develop stop talking please. Naruto would actually develop the Dark Rasengan. It'd basically be a black and purple Rasengan. This Rasengan was way stronger than the normal, because this Rasengan would be made from dark matter. Naruto actually said, Rasori, I need your chakra. Let's go. And then he created a giant Bijudama one. Kakashi actually activated both of his Sharingan. And Kakashi would actually have to use all of his force to block it, using not 1, not 2, but 3 successful water dragon jutsus in a row to actually fight off this. Okay, as I was saying, Naruto would actually ask for Rasori's chakra, and Naruto would actually unlock his Mangekyo Sharingan for a very small time, because Naruto was able to use it. But yeah, Sasuke would actually go with his 3 Tomoe and actually blitz Kakashi. But yeah, Naruto would throw a Dark Rasengan Bijudama at Kakashi. Kakashi had to release 3 water dragon jutsus. Actually, I'm gonna say Kakashi actually released an earth dragon jutsu, a water dragon jutsu, and a fire dragon jutsu. He released a water and a fire dragon jutsu at him, but Sasuke was actually charging up a fire. You know what? He sent an earth dragon and a fire dragon after Naruto's jutsu to stop it. But he sent a water dragon towards Sasuke because Sasuke was firing a giant phoenix flower jutsu. This was a special move that they called Final Press. Well, not Final Press, Yeah, Final Fusion. Mark 1. Sasuke would actually fall back thinking that they defeated Kakashi, but then Kakashi actually still stood there. It took up a little bit of his chakra, but he said, "You kids are good. Now it's time to get serious." What happened would be Tenten actually had to go in the mix, and actually she threw some spike balls from the sides, actually covering Naruto and Sasuke for their escape and for them to gain stamina. And I'm going to say Tenten was actually fairly skilled in taijutsu, knowing a very, very small amount of ninjutsu that wasn't weapon jutsu. I mean, she knows the shadow clone jutsu, but it would be really hard for her to pull it off. But I'm gonna say after she gave them some time, Naruto, we're gonna blast the final fusion, Mark 5. Mark 5 was one of the strongest jutsus that they had. This would actually involve Tenten actually throwing 5 massive spike balls, while Sasuke and Naruto threw shuriken infused with darkness chakra and fire chakra. They actually threw this at Kakashi, actually heavily damaging him. At the end, Naruto and Sasuke both charged up all of their chakra into one blast. Naruto would actually make a Bijudama Dark Rasengan, and Sasuke would actually he'd basically make a giant phoenix flower jutsu, and then he'd basically just put his hand over his mouth. Then he'd take it off, and then you could see all of that chakra was just put into just one ball. But Sasuke wasn't finished. He actually threw more of his he threw lightning chakra onto it, giving it a small lightning coating to it. So this was a lot of damage pressed into a Rasengan, and what I want to call I wanted to call it a Ridori. Ridori is basically a Chidori that's made of fire, with an actual real Chidori coating on it. So basically, with this, they actually put their hands next to each other, pushing the blast together. This would create the vermilion-tailed beast Ridori. They'd actually run together in sync and bust it and just push it all into Kakashi's stomach. This would actually damage Kakashi, and they'd take the bells. They'd both take one, and Tenten said she would go back to the academy. Kakashi actually said, "You all pass." Hurting a lot and aching, Kakashi would say, "You all pass." Naruto would be confused, saying, "What?" Kakashi would be like, "The test of this exercise was teamwork, and you guys all passed. So I'm giving you all the ability to go back to to stay on this team." Naruto would actually go home, and Sasuke, they would be overjoyed being on Team 7. They would actually be very happy. And before they were done, before I finish this what if, you could see Naruto and Sasuke standing at what looks to be a candle with a picture of Fugaku and a picture of Fugaku, a picture of Shisui, and a few other unnamed Uchiha. This was a memorial for them. They actually said Fugaku, Shisui, other names that I'm too tired to actually say. We made it in. And thanks for looking at us from heaven. Okay, so that's going to be at the end of What If Naruto Had a Dark Dojutsu, Had an Ancient Dark Dojutsu, Part 1. If you like the video, tell me. If you like the video, you don't have to like it, but it would be cool if you liked it. So please comment on what if ideas that you have for other what ifs, and just ideas that you have for this in general. Now I got one thing to say. Geek out, y'all, and I'm going.